Okay, so here's the question of the day. Um, and it is, how do you define productivity? Uh, the formal answer is measuring um, output in terms of input, the amount of work you're able to produce in relationship to the amount of effort and energy you have to put in. That's great and it's formal and it makes sense in a way. Um, but the easy answer really is what you're able to get accomplished um, in the time allotted, and those are criterion. By the way, it's Saturday, February 15th, 2020. Journal 282, T+318. And what brought this discussion on, what brought this whole um, consideration of productivity on is yesterday when I should have posted, but I didn't post because I got busy doing a bunch of other things, which turned out to be all things that were quite important. As a matter of fact, one of which was essential, and that was completing a presentation for an event at the end of March in Carlsbad for the Automotive Training Institute, which is a company I've been involved with for a very long time. And I'll be doing a couple of breakout sessions there on living fearlessly. So we'll talk more about that after the presentation's done, and I can share the content with you. But it's fascinating. I mean, it's a fascinating subject, certainly, because nobody lives without fear. It's just a matter of living your life despite the fear, in spite of this fear. In any case, this whole issue of productivity and especially in terms of a busy day like yesterday, where Leslie and I went for 2 walks as I try to regain my strength and I try and build my stamina up after the 2 hospitalizations recently, and both of which affected my lungs and my breathing, and they all make it difficult. So when you have a day like that where you're trying to squeeze in these 2 walks, and they have to be, consequential. I mean, we're not talking about walking around the house. We're talking about, getting some steps in, and finishing up the product, the presentation. And I'm neurotic. I mean, I'd be working on the presentation until 15 minutes before I was to deliver it, if left to my own devices, if there wasn't a drop dead deadline involved in it. Because you can always make it better. You can always make it better. And I keep trying, and actually wound up restructuring the entire presentation before turning it in yesterday. Now lamenting the whole idea that I can't go back and work on it some more, which is neurotic, as I told you. I make no bones about that. So I was able to get that done in the morning. We were able to take a walk. We were able to come back and have lunch. I had a video conference on repurposing the manuals that I had built and bringing them under the Misfire umbrella, and what it's going to take to do that. And there are little things involved in that don't seem meaningful, but they also take time. And it's like putting everything in context of what you can get accomplished within the time allotted helps you to think about doing everything efficiently, being effective at what you do. And when you're talking about changing the size of the books, if you're talking about updating the content, making it more relevant. After all, it was like 12, 15 years ago that they were originally released, and things have changed. Certainly some things haven't, but many things have, with the advent of social media and the power of that as far as marketing and advertising and promotions are concerned. All of those things are important. So I mean, those are all elements of productivity or living a productive life, which is a polite way of saying getting things done, that I think we should all consider when it comes to judging how able we are to make a substantive difference in our lives and in the lives of others, people with whom we come in contact. So thinking about that and thinking about what you're able to get done in the time allotted makes it a lot easier. And I think it's important to consider productivity often in the course of the day as you're trying to get things done, and you're trying to determine whether whatever it is that you're doing at that particular moment will bring you closer to your goals and objectives, closer to accomplishing your vision. So certainly something to think about on a Saturday. I'll leave you to that purpose so that you can be productive. In the meantime, stay well and take care, and we'll see you soon.